So episode 7 just dropped an absolute bombshell, didn't it? For the first time since we started this whole journey, the show's brought back the one question everyone's been avoiding. Can they actually escape the digital circus? But here's what's fascinating. The way the characters react now is completely different from the pilot. Back then, they all thought Pomni had lost the plot. Nobody took her seriously. They'd all given up. But now, nearly everyone's genuinely trying to find a way out. Well, everyone except Jax. And that's exactly what we need to talk about today, because I reckon Jax might be the key to understanding why nobody's escaped yet, and why they might never escape at all. Let's rewind a bit. In the pilot, when Pomni started banging on about finding an exit, the others basically treated her like she'd gone mad. They'd all accepted their fate. This was their reality now, and that was that. Fast forward to episode 7, and it's a completely different story. We've got characters actively working together, planning, strategizing. They genuinely believe there's a way out, and they're committed to finding it. Even though their plan ultimately fails, the important thing is that this wasn't just another one of Caine's random adventures. This was a legitimate attempt at escape. Now, I'm absolutely convinced episode 8 is going to circle back to this theme. The question is, will the characters be able to handle the emotional fallout from that brutal final scene? Because that's going to determine everything that happens next. Here's where things get properly interesting. Jax, our resident troublemaker, the character who always seems so detached and chaotic, is actually the most emotionally vulnerable person in the entire circus right now. And I genuinely think he might be the reason they can't escape. Not because he's malicious, but because his vulnerability makes him the perfect target for manipulation. To understand why, we need to look at what happened in that choice room scene. His behavior was bizarre, wasn't it? But once you dig into what's been happening to him throughout the episode, it starts making sense. Let's go back to the beginning of episode 7. We see Jax in this state of quiet despair. The show keeps reminding us how much Kaufmo and Ribbit meant to him, and how their fates have absolutely destroyed him inside. But this isn't just grief anymore. This is something much more dangerous. His mental state is deteriorating. Remember what the characters said about Kaufmo before he abstracted? How his behavior changed? Keep that in mind. Then we get to the hallucinations. This is the first time we've actually seen Jax experiencing visual distortions, which is absolutely terrifying. This isn't just him remembering things or having a panic attack. His perception of reality is starting to fracture. The most chilling moment? When he sees Ribbit's hands reaching out toward him. We know exactly where Ribbit is now. That's not a random creative choice. The creators are clearly telling us something, but it goes even deeper. After the others pull him out of that mental spiral and give him a task, distracting Caine, watch how Jax transforms. It's like someone's switched a light back on inside him. He's got purpose again. He's useful. And for a brief moment, he's actually alive. Then Zubul says something dismissive, completely disregarding what he's just done, and you can see it. That light goes out again. He's back to being hollow. Throughout the rest of the episode, Jax isn't rushing ahead like he normally would. He's not looking for chaos or entertainment. He's just empty. All he needed was to feel like he mattered to someone, and when that's taken away, he's got nothing left. By the time we get to Caine's office, Jax is barely holding it together. Someone asks if he's all right, and he just says, "I'm great," with absolutely zero conviction. Then comes the moment in the choice room. Jax presses the red button, seemingly destroying everyone's chance at freedom. On the surface, it looks like he's having a complete mental breakdown, like he's turned into a villain. But listen carefully to what happens next in the confrontation with Caine. The characters start piecing it together. Caine can manipulate their minds. The stupid sauce, the vegan situation, possibly even their names. He's been messing with their heads this entire time. And when Caine starts glitching and practically vibrating with panic because he's been exposed, we know they're onto something. Kinger mentions the first abstraction, a character called Scratch. We don't know who that is yet, but the fact that Caine's somehow connected to the abstractions is massive. Now here's my theory. Jax didn't actually choose to press that red button. Caine did. Think about it. We've just established that Caine can manipulate their thoughts and perceptions. We've seen Jax experiencing intense hallucinations throughout the episode, hallucinations that seem designed to destabilize him. Those brief flashes of the real world weren't comforting memories. They were unsettling, deliberately chosen to make the digital circus seem preferable by comparison. Caine has access to everyone's minds. He can create whatever chaos he wants inside their heads. And Jax, in his vulnerable state, was the perfect target. By forcing Jax to press the red button, Caine achieved something brilliant. He made it look like the characters themselves don't actually want to leave. He validated his own existence and proved, at least in his twisted logic, that they're all better off staying in the circus. But here's what's truly terrifying. This is just the beginning. Because now we can see the pattern, can't we? Caine's not randomly entertaining them. He's systematically breaking them down. The moment he identifies someone's weakness, he applies pressure, gradually increasing it until they crack. That's exactly what's been happening to Jax across recent episodes. And that's why Caine found it so easy to control him in that crucial moment. Remember what I said about Kaufmo's behavior changes before his abstraction? The same thing's happening to Jax right now. I actually think Caine always knows who's going to abstract next. He can sense when someone's mentally fragile, and instead of helping them, he accelerates their decline. The abstractions aren't random accidents, they're orchestrated. This completely reframes Caine's entire purpose. He's not trying to keep them entertained, he's doing something far more sinister. Episode 8 is going to be absolutely wild. The real question is whether Jax can overcome what's been done to him, whether he can recognize that he's being manipulated and fight back against it. Because if he can't, he's not just at risk of abstraction himself. He's going to continue being used as a weapon against the others. Every time they get close to finding a real exit, Caine can just reach into Jax's mind and sabotage their plans. The other characters need to realize what's happening. They need to understand that Jax isn't their enemy. He's a victim. And if they can't protect him from Caine's influence, their chances of escape drop to basically zero. So yeah, that's my take on episode 7 and what it means for Jax going forward. I genuinely think the abstraction process is far more calculated than we initially thought, and Caine's role in all of this is absolutely chilling. What do you reckon? Do you think Jax can break free from Caine's manipulation, or is he already too far gone? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your theories. Cheers for watching, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.